Good morning, Peas. Good morning, everybody. Let's see who's here. Deirdre, thank you for sharing. Andrea, thank you. Everyone who's sharing this, I really appreciate it. Morning, Pat Moss. Brandy. It's Friday Eve. It's Thankful Thursday is what it is. Absolutely. Joanne, good morning. Annie. Auntie Jean, good morning to you. Day 38 of those affirmations. I love it. All right, let's go into our hearts. It's a beautiful morning, no matter what's going on. Every day that we're alive, every breath that we take, it's beautiful. I feel like I'm a million miles away from my computer. All right, hand on your heart and slow down the breathing. And then we're going to add in that secret ingredient of love. So love yourself, love the Creator, love life. However, you can flow that love into your heart. Yes, with affirmations. I am worthy, I am enough. Miracles and happiness happen to me every day. And then the rest of the story, we hold somebody in our heart. So big, 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 big hugs to all of you. Deirdre, what happened yesterday was I didn't realize I had gone into a different time zone. So I was actually an hour behind you, as I still am. And I turned my computer on and looked at the messages first and saw everybody had missed me. And I'm going, well, I didn't miss it. It's not there yet. And yeah, when I asked Siri what time it was in New York, she told me. So I knew that I'd messed up. But anyway, I'm here today. It's Thankful Thursday. We're going to stay in the present moment. And I saw our Brooke come in, and Leo, sweet little baby Max. Hello, everybody. Oh, thank you, Annie. Yes, I could not go another night without some sleep. So the night before, no sleep. It was just a bad situation where I was, and I got no sleep. Morning, Kathy Hand. Morning, Catherine Kovacs. Yes, Catherine, thank you for letting us know that your mom did pass. Lots of people to pray for, and we lift you up, Catherine. Um, I was on the road yesterday for about 10 hours, and toward the end of that, I found out that a friend of mine had passed. So I'd like for you to please hold the family of Janice Shawhan in your prayers. My best friend Sherry is her daughter, and it's a very tough time right now for that whole family because it happens so fast. And you'd like to hold Colin in your heart today. I love that. All right, so Thankful Thursday. I'm so thankful for all of you. Thankful for those who reach out. Thank you for helping me along the journey, for keeping my spirits up. We don't have our blue jean on here, but oh my gosh, I laughed with her for about an hour yesterday when I was on the road. So I'm grateful that I am safe, grateful that I've got it knocked down to only 800 more miles of this cross country journey. And yeah, I've been moving. I have let no grass grow under the Angel Mobile's wheels. So yeah, it's a beautiful time, beautiful day. Thank you, Brandy. Yeah, Sherry and I have been close for, oh my gosh, over 30 years. It's been a long time relationship and just so sweet and so beautiful. And now her heart's broken. And yes, our sweet Bella. I'm still in shock from Bella, and then hearing about one of my friends. Yeah, it was a tough time. Leo, you miss laughing with our blue jean. Well, I have to tell you the story. I'm probably going to write about it. I had the name of what the blog was going to be, and it didn't come out last night, but it will. So the name of the blog is Small Houses, Huge Tractors, and Disappearing Cars. So if that piques your interest, that was my day yesterday. And I call it blue because I was passing by these little houses, and I don't mean tiny houses. I know what those are. We all, I think, have seen tiny houses. But these were like a regular house, but low to the ground, so low that if I had walked up on the porch, I would have hit my head. That's how low to the ground these were. And at first, the first one I saw, I'm thinking, well, that's weird that somebody would build a house like that. And then there were more. So I'm laughing, and I call Blue because, of course, she's the Fae expert and knows a lot about the teeny tiny stuff in life. So I called and I asked her if there were small people in Mississippi, because that's where I was. And so we had a laugh. And then she stayed on the phone with me. We caught up and talked about some things. While she was on the phone with me, the GPS told me to turn onto a road. So I get to that road, and it said road closed. Well, there were two cars ahead of me, and the signs were everywhere. The big barrier, not the big barrier, but the barrel barriers were up. And she goes, well, what are you going to do? She goes, I'm staying on the phone. What are you going to do? And I said, I'm following these cars ahead of me. And they both went through. And I'm thinking, okay, if I fall off the face of the earth, then somebody will know what happened because I was on the phone with Blue. So I followed the two cars, and for a bit, we were the only two cars on the road, and we went over a bridge, and the road was intact. So it was so weird to go on a road that said it was closed, but it was really open. And before that, I had been on the phone with Ruth Anderson, and a car behind me disappeared. And I'm not lying, you guys. I wasn't hallucinating. I had passed the car, it was behind me, and I'm talking to Ruth, and all of a sudden the car's not there. And there were no exits. It was a long stretch of interstate, and the car had disappeared. So I had disappearing cars. I had roads that were open that said they were closed. I had tiny houses, and eventually a giant tractor rolling down the road. So it was an interesting day, to say the least. I got to laugh a lot before I got that phone call that Janice had died. So please, please keep that family in your prayers. And, laughter, it's something that will help us through any moment. And it did help me as I just stopped and realized that, yeah, there's a lot of hurt in the world, and we can keep our vibration up even through that moment of grief, that moment of shock. We can keep our vibration high. Morning, Jennifer. Oh, Jen, you know Sherry very well. Her mother passed yesterday. So if you would please let the darters in the area know about that, I would appreciate it. Auntie says the angels have to work double time when you're on the road. I think most of the time they're sitting on top of the car just watching like it's a movie ahead of me because everything that happens is so funny. I went somewhere, Leo, and um, Ruth told me I went into a different dimension, and I think that's probably the case. And I'm looking all around. She goes, "Are you sure it's not your blind spot?" I said, "I have looked all around my car. There was no other cars there. It was just me and this car on our side of the road. And then there was just me." So I can't explain it, okay? but it made me laugh. Yes, Brandy, I am in your time zone, but I'm getting ready to go further west. So I think I'm going to be 2 hours ahead of Eastern when I get, or behind Eastern when I get into Colorado. And again, I need prayers because Ruth told me they're expecting snow tomorrow. I'm like, I can't drive in snow. Whoops, I said the C word. I have a hard time driving in snow, but I'm going to change that story. And my new story is that everything is working perfectly and that snow is nothing but just white stuff. Good morning, Sally and Tony. Oh, thank you for being here. So, yeah, it was a very interesting full day on the road yesterday with lots of laughter, lots of tears, and just grateful that I had a bed to sleep in, that I was able to get some sleep, and now I can be rested as I go this next leg, which it'll probably be another 8 or 9 hours on the road today, getting me closer to my destination. Auntie Jean, the angel detours into other dimensions. Yes, it's a real thing. And I don't know, maybe I should do a teaching about dimensions. I don't know how much everyone understands about them, but it's exactly what happened. I mean, when something's there and then it's not there, it's like, okay, there's not a whole lot um, that you can put into a real explanation for people that would think that you have two heads or something if you said that out loud. So, yeah, I'm glad that you all were able to laugh a little bit with me this morning. I'm glad we can have some levity in our heavy hearts and share that with the family, loved ones that are now dealing with grief in our lives. Good morning, Darlene. Yes, Jennifer, please keep her in your prayers and her sisters, her brother. Yeah, it was unexpected. So that's it's going to be a really tough one. I'll let you know, Jen, if I find out about the funeral or memorial service arrangements. Deirdre says dimensions are portals. Oops, it scrolled. And Leo, I see a new song here, Dimensions and Portals. I love that. And yeah, I'd love to do a teaching, Brandy. So I've taught about it before, and it's actually been taught at my retreat. One of the retreats I did, we talked about dimensions. So I'd love to talk about that. And Dolores Cannon was actually the one that opened us up to that and shared what they are and how we can access those dimensions. Marietta, I was thinking about you yesterday. We are grateful for a miracle yesterday. The water was gushing into our engine room. Thankfully, we were tied up to a dock when Ed discovered the leak. We called for emergency help, and within the hour, two men showed up, and the leak was totally fixed within 2 hours. We're so glad we were not traveling on the water when the pipe started leaking. Infinite love and gratitude to Spirit and the angels. Absolutely EIWP. So, Marietta, I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad Sweet Dreams is back on track and no more water in the engine room, please. And grateful that everything is working perfectly out on the water for you. Sally, you're in line for more severe weather. After we had 12 tornadoes touch down in one night, the National Weather Bureau stretched Tornado Alley to include all of lower Michigan. Yeah, I think so, Sally. I think there's been a lot of activity. I was driving, like I said, through Mississippi. Oh, this is the other interesting thing. Closed roads, which I think that big sign was just reminding me that everywhere I was going, there were closed roads. I have seen parts of some of the states that I'd never seen before because three major highways that I was on, that my GPS had taken me that route, the roads closed. Whether it was flooding, construction, whatever the case, accidents, they closed off my side of the interstate. So I had to detour and go on these little roads. These little back roads through some of these states are very interesting. And I'm driving through Mississippi, and I kept seeing just all of this devastation. Houses that were half there, and sticks, and where houses once were, and I didn't know about the tornadoes that had come through there. And yeah, it's just a mess. And I see the aftermath when a tornado comes through. So it's just so interesting to see how places that once were vibrant now are in sticks. Um, oh, Darlene, it's a whole story, honey. So this is a different story time today. This is my journey from just one day on the road with. I think I'm going to write about it, and it's disappearing cars, small houses, and giant tractors. And I think I'm going to add closed roads in there because that was a huge part of it. And he says, when you and Mama Pete came to visit me, Auntie Jean, that was another dimension. Lots of dimensions, lots of stuff happening with portals. I saw 1111 on road signs yesterday, and everything, when I would talk to people, it would be 111, it would be 333. So, yeah, lots of interesting energy going on. And there's Blue Jean. So glad I was able to talk to you and catch up yesterday. And Darlene says, you're in Michigan, we'll have to listen to the news. Yeah, Darlene, there's more weather coming your way, is what Sally was saying. And Sally's there in Michigan. So please just keep track of what's going on with your weather. Morning, Charlie. And Blue says, after we talked, I of course hit the internet to do a little research on where you were. I was laughing and I had to call Blue. I said, I had to call. I couldn't help myself. And my thought, as I was looking at those houses that were so little, I mean, there's no other way to say it. They were little houses, like somebody built an expanded dollhouse, but there were many of them. And my thought was, if Dave Walensky walked up to that house, he'd have to crawl in. There's no way with his over 6 foot frame that he'd be able to fit in that door. It was just funny. Oh, Darlene, safe travels to you. Enjoy Florida. So anyway, it was an adventurous day, and I really appreciate all the prayers, and I appreciate all the levity, people that call and make me laugh while I'm on the road. Grace Isis has called and made me laugh along the way. She always starts out with laughter, so I really love when I see that it's her calling. And for those of you that don't know, I have hands free, so I don't have to pick up my phone. I don't have to do anything except just answer the calls. So, and if there's a text, I can speak it, and Siri types it and sends it to who I need to send it to. So I am very aware of safety while I'm driving. I've been doing this for almost 5 years now, and I'm so grateful for technology that allows that to happen as I communicate with people. Blue says, you just have to think of me, and then you feel my arms around you, Annie Banani. Oh, that's so sweet. That's how all of us are. We're so connected. And Auntie Jean says, you need to write a book, Travels with Teri, like Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie. I could be in one of the chapters, and it sounds like those houses were my size. Oh my gosh, Jean, you would have loved those houses. Yeah, you could have just walked right in the door without stooping over. It was a little insane. So the other miracle, and I'm claiming miracles, and there were a few miracles that happened to me yesterday, but a miracle that happened was, so I had asked my GPS, which usually I call on Siri. I don't like to say her name because then she pops up and says, "Can I help you?" or "How can I help you?" But anyway, I asked for a hotel in the area I was in, so I didn't have to stop and I could just go straight to it. And so she pulled up one, and I said, "Okay, give me directions." Well, it didn't look so good when I got there. I didn't feel that it was in a very safe part of town. It was dark. There weren't a lot of street lights on the streets I was turning down, and I missed the turn. And I didn't even see the hotel itself. So I said, "Okay, is there another one? Take me to another one." And I decided to go on a little bit further down the road. So I told her where I was going, and she found one there. So I got directions, and I'm headed to that one. Again, couldn't find it. I used the general yesterday, Blue. We don't get along anymore. Anyway, I couldn't find that hotel. So there were two hotels I couldn't find. And I gave up, and I said, there's hotels here. I'm just going to pick one. And I saw, where am I? I don't even know what this hotel is. But anyway, I pulled in and I said, "Okay, I'm just going to go in, see if they have a room." And it was part of the Wyndham Hotels, which I am a member of Wyndham, whatever their rewards program is. And so I got a really good rate on the room for the night. A nice room, comfortable bed, hot showers, coffee. They have breakfast, but I don't eat breakfast. So, yeah. So it was a fun day. Yeah, me and the general had an out, Blue. He would let me pass by my exit and then tell me to turn. So I said, "No, I can't. I can't have that happening." so, so just use Siri now, and she guides me along the way. Um, Good morning, Grace Isis. And Blue says, "Safety, yeah, sure, except here the Fae want her to go the wrong way." Yeah, they do. They turn me around sometimes just so they can laugh at me making the U-turns, I think. And yeah, Auntie Jean didn't like that general. She thought he was mean. so, so yeah, the general's gone. Siri has replaced the general. All right. Well, thank you all for laughing with me this morning. Thank you for holding loved ones in your heart, and those of us who are a little tender-hearted this morning. And I really appreciate you all wrapping your arms around Joanne. That was a surprise. It was an unexpected leaving of Sweet Bella, one of the sweetest dogs that I've ever met. And it'll be so tender when I go back there, because that's one of my homes away from home. Joanne always makes me feel so welcome at her house and part of her family, and for holding our Catherine Kovacs, even though we knew that that was imminent, it's still very tender when it happens. And then thank you for holding me and my friend Sherry in the loss of her mom. Sally said, "But was it the wrong way, or were you being guided somewhere, maybe to see something?" Oh, it's so funny, Sally. I I turned left instead of right coming out of Blue's driveway, and I ended up in another state. So, so it was one of those funny moments. Okay. And I am very directionally challenged. So I thought I could do it on my own, and I found out I couldn't, because I'll end up somewhere that is not where I want to be. Gracie says, "Our road call was filled with an occasional sound of an alarm, and it was the Angel Mobile passing, overtaking a car or a big truck, and it was something bigger than the mobile. So, yeah, if you're ever talking to me on the phone while I'm driving and you hear that alarm going off, it's because I went over a certain miles per hour, and it doesn't like that because if I keep it under that, I get a discount on my car insurance, which I definitely need. So that's what was going on there. Bells and whistles going off. Yes, the general is a GPS. It's Waze actually, and I don't use it. And well, I used it yesterday because the roads were all closing, and I was like, well, is there another way to get on a major interstate instead of all these back roads? There wasn't until I got to the end of the day. The Adventures of Terry Longstocking. I love that, Sally. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Yes, it's an interesting day, isn't it? All right. Well, let's do a couple of angel messages from the tiny books. There was an angel message last night, and it was called Returning to Center. So I hope that you all will read that message because that's such an important thing that we have to be aware of. We can return to center. We don't have to stay in the chaos or confusion or the sadness. We can come back to our hearts. Oh, Jean Lorio, I'm so glad that this is a good doctor for you, and let's pray that something will come from that that's going to be helpful for you. Um, Miss Whizzy B, good morning to you. Yeah, yeah, we need lots of Fae energy lifting us up, so thank you for that, Blue. And good morning to all the other little ones there at your place, especially our Gizmo. Uh, Gracie said it was all bubbles of giggles, and oh yes, that's what it was. And then we caught on the angel wings to go into the invisible. Yeah. All right, Brandy, the first book, page 14. That would be the tiny book of angel messages. And page 14 says, we encourage you, dear ones, to stand in your divine beingness of love and light. Set your boundaries of what you will allow in your life. Do not let anyone disrespect you or harm you in any way. You do not deserve such behavior. So true. We deserve love and light. I am worthy. I am enough. I call in laughter and joy into my life. The third book, page 13 for our Joanne. Grief is a part of love, and by allowing it to be, you honor both the love you shared and the resilience within you. Through time and tears, you emerge stronger, carrying your memories as sacred parts of who you have become. What a beautiful message. And look at you, Joanne, with your intuition, picking just the perfect message to share with those of us who are going through a grief experience right now, including you. So hold this message, Joanne, and I know you got the book, so maybe bookmark that page to read over and over and hold Sweet Bella in your heart as you read that message. And Charlie says page 86. I think that was the page, Sally. I think that was for everyone in the group as we hold loved ones who are at this point of grieving for the loved ones who are no longer there in the physical. All right, page 86, and then we'll get to our prayers. Hope is not just a fleeting emotion, It's a gift from the divine, a spark that the Holy Spirit and the angels will keep alive in you, even when you can't see the light. Trust in our presence and let your spirit be lifted by the unseen hands that guide you through the darkest valleys. Breathe into that connection daily and experience the shift in your life that will happen. Breathe into it every day and let the angels help you find hope, even through the storm, even when things are being thrown about by tornadoes or you go into the depths when you have an experience of a loss in your life. So thank you. Thank you to all of those who are here this morning holding each other and loving on each other. And thank you for lifting me in prayer as I travel and for all of those who are either on the road or experiencing something going on. Okay. I think I saw Deirdre put our prayer up. Maybe. I'm looking. Thought I saw it, but maybe not. So if you did, I'm sorry, Deirdre. I can't find. Oops, I said that, didn't I? I can't find it. So if you would put it up for us. I'm looking. Um, oh, thank you, Brandy. That one hit home for you. And Sally says, I usually don't, but then when I stand up for myself, I feel really guilty afterwards. And then I kind of chastise myself for feeling guilty, and we're not taking it. Um, yeah, not taking it any longer. So, yeah, Sally, standing up for yourself. Dave wants page 3. Well, Mr. Dave, who am I to deny you page 3? Let's just see what that is. Even in the midst of challenges, there is always something to be grateful for. Even if you can find one thing to be grateful for, such as opening your eyes each morning, the breath you take throughout your lifetime, or the love and support of those around you, you are deepening your spiritual connection. Oh, I think we all needed to hear that. So thank you, Dave Bolinski. So much love to you and so grateful to you building that barn for our dolly to be housed in. I love that. Okay, so we're going to thank you, Brandy, for traveling with me. I found the prayers. Oh, Catherine, I'm across the country from Jacksonville now, honey. I've gone from Jacksonville to Arkansas in 2 days. Yes, the Angel Mobile does have wings, guys. Thank you, Deirdre. Prayers for all humans, for Gaia and all who live on her back, for world peace, attention to human trafficking, support for all families living with addiction, prayers for our United States, and prayers for the families of all who are experiencing loss right now. Thank you, Deirdre, for that. Um, and Sally, thank you for your beautiful prayers for the lost, the lonely, the forgotten, the unloved, the homeless, and for all those that live in fear of another, and also some extra prayers for the P family and their extended families. May we all walk in our own lights and cherish others. Thank you for that beautiful prayer. And Brandy, I think I saw yours, those touched by dementia um, and suicide. Thank you for reminding us of that. Aw, I love smiles from Dave. Dave, you're amazing. All right, so any other prayers that you have? I'm going to type Janice's name in Please remember her family. She has 8 children. And as I said, this was unexpected. So please lift her up. All right, so let's go into our hearts this morning, loving on each other, helping each other through those tender moments, and lifting those who are experiencing miracles, those who are calling in those miracles every day, and also prayers for those of you who have paired up and have accountability partners for helping each other. And thank you for participating in that. Thank you for helping each other stay on task, for having a really great experience. So let's go into our hearts. Just breathe. Breathe in. As you breathe into your heart, feel the connection of that breath going down into Gaia. Let's do some grounding because it feels like we need to do that today. I know I need that. So go with me into the core of Mama Gaia. At the very center of Earth, there's a crystalline center. Crystals of every kind, everything you can imagine. And so just take your energy there with your breath. Spread it out through all those crystals. Maybe there's one that grabs onto you or you wrap yourself around. I'm feeling a beautiful rose quartz for those whose hearts are tender right now. Seeing that pink energy flowing into my heart, into your hearts, as we just play, like the little fae that play in there. We're going to join them and play in that energy as we bring that now back up through our root chakra, our sacral, the solar plexus, and into our hearts. Let's anchor that beautiful energy there as we breathe in again and move that vibration and that frequency higher, higher, higher yet, going up, 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 until we're at the very great central sun of the Creator, sitting right there. And I've seen us here before, sitting in yoga pose, bringing all the prayers with us. We all have them in our hands. Any that are in your heart that you haven't expressed, lifting each other, lifting our prayers, just handing them over. Envision there's a big basket for the collection of them, and we're all placing those prayers in the basket, releasing them totally, not keeping a hand on them or refusing to let go or having a difficult time letting those prayers go. Just turn them over. The plate has passed your hands and now it's going to the next one. Just see it going all around our circle. Each person laying down the burdens, putting in names, animals, places, events, and all of us placing a little miniature globe in there and requesting peace all over this earth planet. And now we're going to leave it there. The Creator is taking that basket of prayers and hopes and desires, blessing each one, acknowledging each one, and answering for the best and highest good of all, and giving us all a heart hug, helping tender hearts to understand about grief, that the more we love, the more it hurts when we have a loved one that goes on to their next journey. or as I like to look at it, they walk into another room. They're still there. We just can't see them at the moment. And then we receive that beautiful message from the Creator. Thank you. Thank you for the work you do, for the love you share. Thank you for shining your light into the world. I love you. Breathe that in. Hold that in your heart. The Creator and all of divine. It looks like there was a little glitch while I was doing that prayer, but we're back. We're here. And Donna, hello, Donna. I'm on my way to see you, and uh, can't wait to get there in Colorado. And Darlene, yes, we keep your fur babies always lifted up. All right, so let's stop the birdies and let's hear our Leo. Maybe. There we go.
It's time to get up and get ready because today is the perfect day to have a great day. Here we go, come on, come on. Come on, let's play. It's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. One on the peace for peace, on our mission for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead wherever we may be. We create a portal where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Calling on the guys, the angels, and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning Cuppa full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. Give me
Oh, you saw the Aura Stone, Sally. I love that.
Cuppa full of joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot and the trust is always yours. The sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we are part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team. And you can slide the
Oh, I love this, Joanne. Yes. I feel that Bella is very, very okay, running and playing.
Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love
Thank
you,
you. I
namaste.
love you.
Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me.
Okay, time for the AAA dance.
There really is no secret. We simply accept,
Accept,
align,
align,
allow.
allow.
AAA,
AAA, y'all.
cuppa full of joy every day.
That was one of the first vehicles I saw yesterday when I turned onto one road. It had AAA on the back of it.
Morning Cuppa full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup of joy. Cuppa full of joy. Cuppa full of joy. Give me a cup. Give me a cup of joy. 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 Give me a cup of
You okay, Bricky?
Give me a cup of joy.
Oh, I love it, Brooke. Max just said accept a line aloud just before Leo did. I love that. Oh, sweet Max. So much love to you, dear one. You are amazing. And Gracie's sending us all bubbles to lift our day. Thank you for that. What an amazing day this is. And I will be getting back on the road probably about 11 o'clock my time, which is noon your time. So I'm going to get as far as I can today. And then, Donna, I should be arriving there on Friday, hopefully not too late. And I will see you then. And I'll see all of you back here tomorrow morning for a happy Friday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hold each other tight. You just never know how much time any one of us has left. So make sure today that you say those words while you have time to say them to somebody. I love you. And I do. From all of my heart, I send that love to each and every one of you. Good morning, Dixie. Good to see you. All right. I'm out of here and namaste, y'all. Bye for now.